Rebecca, and I'm here to talk to you guys about social anxiety and basically how I deal with social anxiety on a daily basis. I basically just want to go over what social anxiety is for those of you who aren't aware, just to, get information out there about the anxiety disorder. I also want to go over the symptoms that I experience, and sorry, I have all of the notes about what I want to talk about. The things that trigger my social anxiety, my story growing up, what caused me to feel anxious in social situations, and then I also just want to go over coping mechanisms. I don't know if I already mentioned that. And what I've done to try and decrease the anxiety that I experience when I'm interacting with others. So, first off, what is social anxiety? So for those of you who don't know, social anxiety is feeling really anxious or uncomfortable in social situations. It also involves just an extreme fear of embarrassing yourself or having others view you in a negative light. A lot of people who have social anxiety often end up avoiding a lot of social situations so that they don't end up feeling this anxiety, which isn't good because in my personal experiences, avoiding situations just leads me to miss out on a lot of fun opportunities, and I just end up sitting at home alone with my cat, and I don't know, it's not as fun as probably those who are going out and having a blast with each other. Anyways, symptoms that I experience when my social anxiety is getting really bad is just extreme worrying about the social situation for hours or even days before I have to be in that situation. I experience a rapid heartbeat, my palms get all sweaty. When I'm in the actual social situation, my mind just goes blank. It's really hard to explain, but everything around me just seems really overwhelming and loud, and it's hard for me to comprehend what's going on. So I end up in those situations just not really communicating with the other people that are around me. I end up just staying really quiet, and yeah, I don't get to interact with others around me because first of all, it's hard for me to comprehend what's going on, and I also have this extreme worry that anything that I say, I'll be judged negatively, or they won't like me, or they'll all secretly think that I'm stupid or whatever, stuff like that. So yeah, I usually just withdraw myself in those social situations, and I end up not saying anything, which also fuels my anxiety because I'm sitting there thinking oh my god, they all think I'm so rude that I'm not saying anything, none of them like me because I'm so quiet. So yeah, it's just, social situations can just be stressful for me. Things that trigger my anxiety in social situations are, sorry, people who I'm meeting for the first time. So just I don't know, friends of friends, being introduced to new people. I'm just thinking the whole time, what do they think of me? Every time I speak, I'm oh my god, they think I'm weird, they think I'm stupid, they think I'm, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I get the point. But basically just meeting people for the first time. Also, talking in front of large groups gives me a lot of anxiety, which is pretty common. Nobody likes to do presentations, or at least a lot of people don't like to do presentations. But it's not just presentations that give me anxiety, it's participating in class. And I'm in university, and I get marked on participating in some of my tutorials, so my participation marks have gone down a lot because I'm too scared to participate. I feel everyone in the class is going to think that I'm stupid, or what I have to say is unintelligent. I'm scared that the TA is just going to be oh, this girl's stupid, or kind of single me out during class and ask me, I don't know, I realize that all of these these worries may sound ridiculous to some people, but to me they're very real, and yeah, oh my god. I'm not used to talking like this much and for this long a period of time, so like my voice is just, it's just going right now. Now I am going to talk about my story, basically my shyness growing up and how it turned into anxiety in social situations. So growing up, I was always a really shy kid. I remember being the kid who would hide behind my mom's legs when strangers would say hi to me. I specifically remember this one time, or more than once, but my grandma would go into a bakery like every weekend and she'd bring me because she babysit me. And all the ladies behind the counter would try to say hi to me, and they'd be like, "Oh, hi Rebecca, how are you?" And I'd be so terrified. I'd pull my hat over my head, and I thought that since I couldn't see them, they couldn't see me, and it kind of just made me feel like I didn't have to interact with them because I was just too shy, and I didn't want anyone to see me. So it's kind of funny. In elementary school, grades 1 to 5, I was shy, but like I had a lot of friends in my school, and I don't know, I didn't really have problems interacting with others because I had been in a class with those people for like 5 years, so I don't know, I just felt like they knew me, and they liked me, and I didn't really have a problem until around grade 6 when I moved schools. I went to a new elementary school, and that was just super hard for me. My shyness just got so bad. I didn't know how to interact with my new classmates, and I didn't really have any friends. I only had one friend for about a year, and I just felt like I didn't know how to make new friends, and I felt like nobody liked me, and it was a pretty lonely time. But yeah, after a year, I started to become more comfortable with my classmates, and I made more friends. And I stuck with those friends until high school, basically. And I say basically a lot. I'm really sorry. Just using filler words is nerve-wracking for me. But yeah, in high school, I didn't really branch out that much. I kind of just stuck with the same people that I stuck with in elementary school, and I didn't socialize with new people unless those people made an effort to socialize with me and my friendship group. So I didn't really branch out during high school, which at some point it made me feel really depressed because I felt like I didn't have any friends, and I felt like I didn't really know how to interact with people. And yeah, there were some classes that I had where I didn't even really talk to anyone because like I never made an effort to make new friends. I just stuck with my old friends, and yeah, I felt like people thought I was that weird girl that just didn't say anything, and I felt really self-conscious about myself and what other people thought of me. My social anxiety also worsened in high school because I became aware of how people thought about my personality. A lot of people would say to me like, "Oh, you're really shy. Why are you so quiet? Why don't you talk more? You don't say much." And it made me aware of how people think of me, and I just was like, "Oh, I'm that weird girl that doesn't say anything. Like, oh, I don't even know how to interact with people. I'm fucking crazy." I don't know. Sorry, excuse my language. So yeah, that's how my social anxiety kind of worsened a bit. And then when I moved out into the dorms, when I got into university, I made a few new friends, but then I kind of just stuck with those few friends, and I was so scared to like, again, branch out and meet new people, and a lot of my friends would go out with other people, and I was just like, no, I don't really want to, and I'd stay in my dorm room, and I felt really alone during that time, and I started to get really depressed, and I felt really anxious, and I would go home on weekends because I was just too stressful to be there, and I don't know where I'm going with this. So basically, there's a lot of anxiety in my life, and yeah, fun stuff. So what I've done to kind of try and decrease my social anxiety, well, I tried attending group therapy, it was kind of helpful, and I know what you're thinking, like, how can somebody with social anxiety attend group therapy? And I kind of thought the same thing. I was really nervous, but it was comforting to see that a lot of people actually, you know, experience the same things that I do, and it was just, yeah, that part of it was helpful. And I learned some, like, good techniques. She basically, in the beginning, talked about, it's kind of hard for me to remember, I don't have all the notes that I took, but she talks about, like, how we have distorted thinking, kind of, and, like, how, I don't know, I don't want to, like, try and explain it, because I feel like I'm going to butcher her words, and it's not going to make any sense, but it was basically, I don't know how to explain it. She gave us this sheet, and it had all these different types of cognitive distortions, I think they were called. The only ones that I can remember are mind reading and fortune telling, I think the other one was. I know that mind reading was when people, they try and read other people's minds, like what they're thinking. So basically, for example, for me, I would be like, oh, this person thinks I'm so stupid. They think I'm ugly. They don't like me. So that's mind reading, because you don't know what that person's thinking. It's what you're mind reading. You're trying to read that person's mind, and it's not helpful, because unless that person full out tells you what they're thinking, you're never going to know. So what's the point of, just worrying yourself and being, and, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm not making sense, but hopefully you get what I mean. What's the point of trying to read that person's mind when you don't actually know what they're thinking? They might not actually be thinking that. And then the other one was fortune telling, which is thinking that something bad is going to happen in a social situation, trying to predict a negative outcome. So basically, if I act a certain way, or if I be myself, everyone's going to laugh at me. You don't know that that's going to happen. You're trying to predict negative outcomes. I don't know. I'm not making sense, but yeah, group therapy was helpful, but I'm still, experiencing my social anxiety, and I'm just trying to cope with it the best ways that I can. So if you have social anxiety or any kind of anxiety, feel free to comment or message me, and we can, exchange ideas, we can exchange experiences. I basically just want to make friends out of this experience. I want to connect with people who have anxiety, and I want to help others, and yeah, so that's me, and that's my social anxiety. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be back soon with more videos. Thanks for watching.